Women get obsessed with men who treat them like this. And I'm sure, gentlemen, that you've watched many of these videos with stock images, with motivational quotes, with AI voices, but this video is different because I am the guy that women get obsessed who I am. In the last 2 years, I have gone on 384 dates with 193 different girls. And by the way, I have proof for all of this. I have hundreds of screenshots of texting, I have hundreds of videos, of photos. As you can see here, I have 2,000 plus recordings of infills, of approaching girls, of date escalation, of in-bed escalation. I have everything, okay? I have daily YouTube blogs documenting my journey. I have all of the proof. Just 2 years ago, I was a virgin. The reason why I went from that point in my life, from virgin to this point of dates now, is because my system changed. That's what has changed, my system. And that's what I'm sharing for free with you here in this channel. So if you like it, subscribe, like button. So the man women get obsessed with treats her like this. Point number one. He treats her like she is a bonus, not his oxygen. And in my experience, when I'm giving all of my full attention to girls, it never ends up well. I need to have a clear direction in my life, a clear purpose. I need to be wanting to make more money, do better in business, even do charity work. But at least I have a purpose, provide for my family, whatever it is, okay? Take care of my mom, and they need to feel they're just part of it. And some of my girls, they FaceTime me, they call me. I have a couple of girls in Poland at the moment. And one of them was saying to me, like, do you miss me? Every time she calls me, it's, do you miss me? Do you miss me? Right? Because there is that degree of uncertainty of me having a clear direction in my life, and they are wondering, is he actually, thinking about me or not, right? Now, if you are texting them every day, every time, every hour of the day, if you are FaceTiming them, or if you are living with them every time, that uncertainty disappears. There is no mystery there, there is no curiosity, and that breaks the tension and therefore attraction. So that's a very first important point, okay? You have a real life, you have real priorities, you have gym, you have work, you have friends, and again, I'm taking my notes here, okay? You reply when you can, not every time she texts you, okay? So for example, if she texts you midday, you answer later, there is no need to rush things, okay? Point number two. A man that treats her emotions with calm, not with panic. You are not overreacting when she reacts a certain way to something that you have done or to something that happened to her with her friends, for example. You are not just overreacting, you are a fucking rock. And for example, if she asks you, who is this girl? How do you know her, right? Who is she? And you're just, trying to explain yourself very quickly to her. Oh, she's like, yeah, I met her the other, it sounds like she's affecting you emotionally a lot. Right? So most guys are just begging or over-explaining things. You just, she's a girl I know. Just chill, okay? Just don't react. Even if you have a perfect rational argument, gentlemen, even if your argument is perfect, but you are delivering that argument in a way that shows that she has emotionally affected you, then she has won, and she's going to lose attraction for you, okay? When I say she has won, I don't mean that's what she wanted. No, but she has more leverage now. Point number three, he treats access to him like something that she earns. You are not just giving boyfriend treatment to every girl if she hasn't earned it, right? What is that telling about you? Especially to her, right? That's why appreciation is earned, not sprayed. So you gentlemen, you need to attach some type of value to your attention, right? That's why if you are giving her the boyfriend treatment, but it's you, it's way more valuable than if no one is giving her boyfriend treatment, right? So you need to treat access to you as if she's earning that access. And for that, obviously you need to believe in your own value. Now, the point number four is he treats her with boundaries that she can feel. And this mostly goes for when she's not behaving the way we want her to behave. We should have all boundaries, we should have standards. And this usually comes from options, because if you don't have any options, if you've never had any girls, how are you going to know what type of girls you want to have in your life or what type of behaviors you're willing to tolerate, right? So once you have those behaviors in mind, the ones that you actually want for your dream girl, and those behaviors come, you're just not tolerating them. Like, no, don't do that, right? Now, there are two types of communication. You have the overt communication and you have the covert communication. One of them is clearly explicit, one of them is implicit. Generally speaking, with girls, they're more emotional than us. We want to communicate things implicitly. We don't need to say things out loud, right? So in what way can we teach these girls the things that we want them to do? Is usually with our attention. They do things that we don't like. We just reduce our attention. Now, there are some particular scenarios where you should give an ultimatum, right? This is not ideal because usually the girls you want, when you are reducing your attention, if they are not doing the things you want, they should be smart enough, right, to adapt those things so they do the things you want. The problem is some of them, they are just not that experienced, which is something that you want, by the way. And for that, you need to make it sound explicit. You need to say it out loud, like, look, I don't like when you talk to me like that in front of your friends, right? So don't be scared of saying these things out loud. Point number 5 is he treats the moment with pace, not noise. You don't fill every silence. And this is especially true for dates. My first dates, keep in mind, gentlemen, I come from a sales background, and in the beginning I was talking a lot in sales. I was trying to sell many things in sales, and I thought if you talk more, you're giving the prospect more information, and therefore it's more likely that the prospect, the guy, the girl, whatever business owner, they are going to buy from you. But if you're in sales, you know that that's not how it works, right? Usually you need to ask more questions. You need to learn what the prospect wants, what are their needs, and then see what you can offer, right? And there are many books and many theory about this. Usually, you want the prospect to talk 80% of the time and you to talk 20% of the time. It's similar in dates, actually. I don't have the exact split of 20 and 80%, but generally speaking, I want the girl to talk more than I do, especially on the dates, okay? So yeah, don't be scared of silences. Sometimes I've gone like 2-3 minutes without saying anything in the middle of the date. And with some girls, you will see most of the time, they always say anything. Now, with some other Eastern European girls, super traditional, they can stay still there like for 2 or 3 minutes in front of you and they don't say anything. And you just look at them, right? And sometimes they ask you, what's the problem? What's happened, right? Because you're just looking at them and you're not saying anything. And usually you just tell them, I'm just looking at it, right? And they usually say, okay. And usually they just go kind of more shy from that point, right? Because they see that you don't have you're not scared about looking at them, right? So yeah, don't rush the moment. You can be silent, especially on dates. Also on sets, when you're approaching girls in the street as well, be calm and collected, okay? Point number 6, he treats her like a woman, not like a judge, okay? So you're just not performing all of your actions for approval. And this is similar when you are, displaying your, displays of high value. So basically the things that would make you appear as someone valuable in the eyes of the girl. There is a mistake most guys make, and they are just making things too obvious, right? They say to the girl, oh, by the way, I have this business. By the way, I have this career. I'm a pilot, right? When you're making all of these things too obvious, it just kind of loses its impact, right? Because you are trying to qualify yourself and it just looks needy, right? So that comes from the lack of validation and you trying for her to validate you. So for this, usually what I do on my sets, on my dates with girls is I plant some baits or some seeds, to say like that. So they ask me a question and then I can qualify, right? For example, for some girls, being a business owner, they appreciate that, or they could perceive that as high value, even subconscious, right? So instead of saying I'm a business owner, I'm going to say, I'm going to guess her occupation, for example, right? You look like a crazy lawyer or an accountant, right? And then she's probably going to ask me, what do you do, right? Now, some of these girls don't ask. So you want to plant a bait there. So you could say something like, see, an accountant. But what I do is so completely different from that, right? And then they would probably ask you, what do you do? And then you can brag about your THV, or in this case, your display of high value. So that's point number 6. Don't seek for approval for girls. Treat her like a woman, okay? Not like a judge. So hope you found this video useful, gentlemen. I'm not fully sure, to be honest, by the way, what I'm going to include in the description for free. I know it's going to be free, but it's probably going to be a guide, my full system for free. So just go there, first link in the description, you're going to find it. And you're going to find another video from the channel, maybe here or maybe here. I don't know where I'm going to put it. And yeah, take care. Yeah, see you soon.